Afternoon.
Good afternoon, all of you all. Are you all present? All? Yes. Yes, I can see 47 of you all are present. Okay. Good afternoon and welcome back to our 506 soft skill development paper. And today we will also take one unit. Today we will be taking your group behavior and group decision making. This unit, okay? Group behavior and group decision making. Clear? Is that okay, students? All of you? Can you hear all of you all? Yes, group behavior and group decision making. Now, very essential component in a professional field. Group, working in a group, creating a synergistic environment for a group. Okay, something very, very important. So group behavior forms one of the essential component. Clear? Without group, you can't you cannot exist individually in any organization. In an organization, always you have to remain in a group, without which survival and existence is null and void. Totally, survival and existence in a professional field is null and void without a group. Even if you are joining any project, you have to take into account the spirit of all your group members as a team lead, or as a team lead, or as a project manager, or as a senior. So there also you have a group. So you cannot avoid working in a professional field or any organization without a group. Now, what are the things that should be that we should learn actually here? The things that are very much essential here is the definition of a group. What is actually group? Understood now different types of group formation and development. That portion is very essential. Group formation and intergroup process in organization. This is our main study of concern. That is group decision making and certain important technologies and group formation and development, different types of groups and characteristics, how a group should be, an ideal character, the ideal feature of a group, ideal structure of a group. This is our prime concern today. Is that clear, all of you all? Yes. So let us begin. Yeah. Now, I have done in my next class, I'll be showing you the PowerPoint presentations on all the topics that I've covered. I have done a PowerPoint presentation, a summary, kind of a summarization. I'll share. I'll do it. I'll be doing screen sharing then. Okay. Now for today, the group behavior part. Now, a group is two or more individuals who interact regularly with each other to accomplish a common purpose or a goal. Always. Clear? A group is a two or more individual. One cannot form a group, as I said earlier. One cannot form a group. Always minimum two or more individual is required who interact regularly with each other to accomplish a common purpose. To accomplish a common purpose or goal. Now, according to, there are certain eminent scholars who have defined group from their perspectives, from different perspectives. According to Marvin Shaw, a group comprises of two or more persons who interact with one another in such a manner that each person influences and is influenced by each other person. So nice. I really like this definition when I was jotting down the college lecture. Once again, I repeat. According to Marvin Shaw, M-A-R-V-I-N, according to Marvin Shaw, a group comprises of two or more persons who interact with one another in such a manner that each person influences and is influenced by each other person. Clear? Okay, so the main concept of this is interaction and influence. The main concept of this definition of the eminent scholar Marvin Shaw is, you can understand the main concept which comes out from this definition. The main concept that comes out from this definition is the concept of interaction and influence, which also limit the size of the group. It is difficult for members to interact sufficiently in large groups. So always we prefer small groups. Clear? In short, a group is an assemblage, cluster, or aggregation of persons considered to be related in some way or the other or united by communities or interests. Family, recreation, occupation. Clear? So this is the main definition. We won't go much details of the definition. Now we have to understand. So from the definition, the main thing that came out is the concept of interaction and influence, which is a prime concern in group behavior and in the study of group discussion and group behavior. Clear? Now members share common ideology, set of beliefs, values, and norms which regulate their mutual conduct. This ideology keeps the group away from other groups. You can understand there has to be some mutual ideology, there has to be some mutual concept, there has to be some mutual perception, which every member should share, and there has to be a common platform. That is the main thing why group formation is so important in any organization. Otherwise, everything will become very haphazard. Everything will become very heterogeneous. Our goal achievement won't be focused. Understood. So you can understand, students, that in this paper, whatever units that we are doing, all are interconnected and interdependent on one another. See, group behavior is very essential for decision making. Group behavior is group formation, and group is also very essential. A group essential for goal achievement. It is also very essential for achieving smart goals. Those that we have done in our earlier units, this achieving smart goals, the blueprint goals, achieving blueprint goals, achieving smart goals. So you can understand how essential is group in an organizational structure. How essential is group in an organ? The way, and group is very much correlated with decision making, very much correlated with conflict resolution. We have another separate unit dedicated. I think all of you have seen the syllabus. A separate unit is dedicated for conflict resolution. Clear? And this is also once again related. You understood, all of you. So this is how, yes, there was a D-link. Yes, there was a D-link. So you can understand how each and every units are interdependent and they are interconnected with one another. Without group, you cannot achieve SWOT analysis, or without group, you cannot achieve. And the stress management. Stress management is also a part of group. If you are in a group, then only you will incur stress. And without group, individually you cannot incur stress. You always need to be for acquiring group. You need to. There has to be another person giving stress to you. I mean, you yourself cannot always impose stress on you. There has to be a second person for imposing stress on you. So this is also a very important part. This is how I was trying to correlate things. Now, the reasons for the need of group. Management of modern organizations make mutual efforts to introduce industrial democracy at workplace. Understood? So all the modern organizations, they make very mutual efforts to introduce industrial democracy at workplace. They use project teams and work committees where workers get due recognition. They willingly participate in decision making. Clear? The tasks in modern industries are becoming more complex, tedious, arid of repetitive nature, environment. Clear? So for these, we need work committee, work groups, teams are formed to monitor the work. They also make the environment at workplace more lively. So these are the reasons why groups are so essential. Clear? Again, we need groups help in making participative management more effective. Groups help in making participative management more effective. Clear? Human relations to work effectively in the organization. An individual cannot perform each and every task. Group efforts are required for its completion. Clear? For example, building a ship making of a movie, construction of a flyer, any flyover. Okay, all these require coordinated and unified efforts of many individuals working in a group. So you can understand how important and essential is group in an organizational structure. A group can judge in a better way as compared to an individual. This is very true. If you're in a group, you can always do better judgment. You can always do a very fair, impartial judgment than being individual, because every individualistic point you cannot cover all the things. It is not possible for one individual to cover all aspects. Always you need a group. You need a diverse opinion for that. There has to be diversification of opinion. So you need a diverse opinion. You need a different opinion. Clear? So for that, groupism is very essential. While accomplishing tasks, all members of a group together use their creative and innovative ideas than single individual. In a group, individuals communicate with each other, discuss their work performances, and take suggestions from each other to make it better. Group efforts affect an individual, his attitude, behavior, and group has ability to satisfy the needs of its members. Understood? Now, characteristics of groups. This was why the importance of groups, the reason why we need group. Now, what should be the ideal characteristics of group? Students, are you understanding? Students, where are you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I sometimes I need reciprocation, or else, I'm not seeing your eye contacts and your body language, whether you are understanding and listening. Yeah, so please don't read any storybook by putting your headphones inside your ears. Be attentive. This is a class, and you will this paper is a very essential paper. I keep on telling it. Right from the very introductory class of mine, I kept on telling you that this is a very important paper, which has a lot of future application in the professional field. So you have to know, you have to understand things very carefully. So this was all why group is essential, the reasons for formation of group. Now, characteristics of group. Characteristics of group are social interaction. People who are interacting with one member form a group. Common goal. People who work together work for a common goal, which can even involve having a good time. Shared standards. People who observe the same custom, traditions, and rules of etiquette would constitute a group. Self-definition. Among collection of people who consider themselves to form a group. Self-definition. Clear? So these are these are the characteristics of a essential group. Now, how should be the group size? Group size should be mediocre, not very long, not a very big group, not a very small group, but a mediocre group. Another important a group has to be very cohesive. Cohesive means there has to be a strong bonding with all the members in a group. Attractiveness, which is a function of the group. This is defined as tenacity with which a group sticks together, or the extent to which members would give membership. Clear? Group may vary in their sociability and in their determination of productivity. Another important variable is the extent to which members are self-oriented or goal-oriented. Dependency, status, dominance, aggression, etc. are very important. Clear? Now, yes. Now, the different types of groups. What are the different types of groups? The different types of groups are functional or formal group. Clear? First one is the functional or formal group. Second is the task group. Third is the informal group. Clear? The next one is the interest group. Next is the membership group. Then we have exclusive and inclusive groups. Then in groups and out groups. Friendship group. Reference group. Primary and secondary group. Now, in details, we will have to learn Clear? So these were the different types of groups. Now, what is functional or formal group? We will take into account individually each and every type of group, and we will have a very healthy discussion over it. Functional or formal group. Functional groups are the groups formed by the organization to accomplish different organizational purposes. Once again, I repeat, students, functional groups are the groups formed by the organization to accomplish different organizational purposes. A formal group is said to be any social arrangement in which the activities of some persons are planned by others to achieve a common purpose. These groups are permanent in nature. They have to follow rules, regulations, policy of organization. A formal organizational group includes departments such as personnel department, the advertising department, the quality control department, and the public relations department. In short, formal groups means groups that have been established under legal and formal authority to achieve specific end result or to undertake delegated tasks can be called a formal group. They are structured and in that sense are organized with a definite allocation of tasks among members and a clear delineation of duties and relationships among them. This is the ideal structure of a formal group. I hope all of you have understood, students, the structure of a formal group. This is one of the most important group, that is the formal group. Now comes the task group. Task groups are the groups formed by an organization to accomplish a narrow range of purpose within a specified time. Once again, I repeat, task groups are the groups formed by an organization to accomplish a narrow range of purposes within a specified time. So the purpose of a task group is very narrow. It has to only maybe for fulfilling any one or two tasks. The task group, as the name suggests, the task group is formed just to fulfill a short-term vision or a short-term goal or any particular tasks that has to be accomplished. Clear? And that also within a specified time. There is always a specified time limit for fulfilling task group. Now these groups are temporary in nature. As I said, formal groups are more or less permanent in nature, whereas task groups are temporary in nature. So you can understand, if you do a comparative study, it will help you to remember the difference between a formal group and a task group. Or clear? The third category, we have the informal group. But first, let us do a little bit more of the task group. Now, task groups are temporary in nature. They also develop a solution to a problem or complete its purpose. Informal committees, task forces, and work teams are included in task groups. The organization, after specifying a group membership, assigns a narrow set of purposes such as developing a new product, evaluating a proposed grievance procedure. Clear? This is a task group. This is all about a task group. Now, third category of group is informal group. Students, in between, if you want to ask anything, any query from your end, you can always clarify. Is that clear? I'm there to clarify. And the third category of group is informal group. Informal groups are the groups formed for the purposes other than the organizational goals. For fulfilling organizational goals, we have the functional or formal group for fulfilling organizational purpose, but for informal group, we don't need, the purpose is not to fulfill always organizational goals. Informal groups are the groups formed for the purpose other than organizational goals. Informal groups form when individuals are drawn together by friendship, by mutual interests, or both. These groups are spontaneous. According to Keith David, The network of persons and social relations which is not established or required forms an informal organization. Clear? Once again, I repeat, according to Keith David, the network of persons and social relations which is not established or required forms social relations which is not established or required forms an informal organization. Not always out of requirement. That informal groups are mainly friendship groups. There is always there is not a need to form those groups. Those groups share informal behavioral traits, informal relationships, informal temperamental activities. These are the groups formed by the employees themselves at the workplace while working together. The organization does not take any active interest in their formation. This is about informal group. Clear? Now, informal groups are very effective and powerful. These groups work as an informal communication network, forming a part of the grapevine to the organization. They are also like a powerful force which an organization cannot avoid. Some managers consider them to be harmful to the interest of an organization. This is the opinion of some managers. They consider these informal groups, which are actually called the grapevine, to be sometimes harmful to the interest of an organization. They suspect their integrity and consider as a virtual threat. Some managers do not consider them as a threat and seek the help of group members in getting the organizational task accomplished. So informal groups are of the following types. So the three major categories of groups are functional or formal group, task group, and informal group. Clear? Now, informal group is further subdivided into interest group, membership group, exclusive and inclusive groups, in-groups and out-groups, friendship group, reference group, primary and secondary groups. Command group, task group, interest group. Clear? So these are all part and parcel of your informal group. Now, interest group means interest groups are the groups formed to attain a common purpose. Employees coming together for payment of bonus, increase in salary, medical benefit, and other facilities are the examples of interest group. Now, the second category of informal group is the membership group. Membership group are the groups of individuals belonging to the same profession and knowing each other. For example, teachers of same faculty in a university. They are the membership group. Now, the exclusive and inclusive groups. Now, exclusive and inclusive group is based on membership. In exclusive group, members is restricted to persons having specified characteristics. The origin can be traced to the attraction among similar. This group can be formed with ulterior motive, example, professional and occupational association. In inclusive group, membership is common to all. The example, the executive healthcare package membership of Apollo is considered as a common for all senior executives of any corporate in India. Clear? Now, in groups and out groups. In groups, exclusive groups often create barriers between those who are in and those who are out of them. There is a general tendency among people to be loyal to a group of sympathetic and identified within the group to which they belong. This in-group and out-groups are relative terms, which are often useful in describing certain group process. For example, Apollo Hospital. Did you understand, students, or you want me to explain in-group and out-group once again? Should I explain it to you once again, students? The in-groups and the out-groups? Once again, let me repeat. Exclusive groups often create, groups which are exclusive, create barriers among those who are in and who are out of them. There is a general tendency among the people to be loyal to a group of sympathetic and identified with the group to which they belong. This is in-group and out-groups are relative forms which are often useful in describing certain group process. Clear? Now, friendship group doesn't need explanation. You people have ample friendship group in WhatsApp. Now, the reference groups are the group where individuals shape their ideas, beliefs, values. They want support from the group. Reference group is one with which he identifies or to which he would like to belong. They may actually be a subsidiary member of a particular group to project the norms of mother group, the group which he refers. The norm of reference group will become more influential in determining behavior. Clear? Now, this was all about the reference group. Now, the primary and the secondary groups. This is based on the nature of interpersonal selection among the members of the group. In a primary group, the group exercises considerable influence on an individual's personality, values, beliefs, and attitudes because of frequent, intimate, and face-to-face contacts. Clear? On the other hand, in a secondary group, members do not show such frequency and intimacy in their interactions. Clear? They are more formalized and contractual in nature. It is possible to further classify group as command group, task group, interest group, and friendship group. Till here, all of you understood? Students? All of you all understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you all okay? Are you all listening?
Yes, ma'am.
So this was all about the different types of groups. This will definitely come for your short answers. MCQs will be set from the different types of groups. Because the group activity depends on the different types of group formation. The group activity depends on this. Here. Now comes the group formation and development. Groups are formed for a certain purpose. As I told you all, groups are always formed for a certain specified purpose to fulfill certain specific achievements or goals. That is the first reason why group is formed is for the accomplishment of task. Second, for the purpose of problem solving. Third, for proximity and reward. And the fourth is for socio-psychological objectives. For the socio-psychological objectives. Clear? Organizational motives to join group. Organizations form functional and task groups because such groups help the organization in structuring and grouping the organizational activities logically and efficiently. Clear? Now, personal motives to join groups. There are certain personal motives which are very essential to join groups. This was the reason why group formation, groups are formed, why groups are formed, and what is the importance for the formation of group and its development. So the reasons for group formation and group development, I think I'm able to make you understand. Clear? Now, interpersonal attraction, interest in group activities, support for group goals, need for affiliation, and instrumental benefits. Understood? These are the reasons why groups are very, very essential. Okay? Understood? Now, we have the stages of development. Members of new groups are unfamiliar with one another's personality. We know that all members are not connected. So in an office, in any professional work field, so we have different stages of development. So the first thing is mutual acceptance, making acceptance, sharing acquaintances, discussing subjects, being defensive. Then comes slow evaluation to next stage is communication and decision making. So this is how these are the stages of group development. Clear? So understood till here, all of y'all? Okay. Now we can see the stages of group. There are various stages. There are various stages of group development. What are the different stages? As I said, first is the mutual acceptance. Then the group members, they show and showcase slow evaluation to the next stage. Then the burst of activities to next stage. Slow evaluation to the next stage. Clear? This is how things move on. Now we have the advantages of group cohesiveness. The members of cohesive groups have high morals, M-O-R-A-L-E. The members don't have conflicting views in a group, in a cohesive group. Conflicting views means diversified opinions, diverse opinions. Clear? Things are very homogeneous. Individuals of cohesive groups have no anxiety at the workplace. Members of cohesive groups are regular at their work. Cohesiveness increases productivity. Organizations gain from the members of cohesive group because they communicate better. They share ideologies and respect opinions of fellow employees. Clear? Understood? Now, the second part that we will come now is the factors that increase group cohesiveness, the group bonding. Which are the factors that will increase the group bonding and the group cohesiveness? That is competitiveness with other groups, interpersonal attraction, competitiveness, interpersonal attraction. Clear? Favorite evaluation from outside. Clear? Favorite evaluation from outside. Okay. Then agreement on goals. This is another factor that can increase group cohesiveness. Agreement on goals, frequent interaction. Clear? So these are the factors that increase group cohesiveness or group bonding. That is interpersonal attraction. One has to be, there has to be a mutual, understanding. There has to be mutual attraction with each other. Interpersonal attraction. Mutually, people have to be interpersonally attracted to each other in all the group. I mean, in a group, in one single group, all the group members, in order to increase cohesiveness. Cohesiveness means bonding, close bonding. Close bonding means cohesiveness. In order to increase, we need interpersonal attraction, favorable evaluation from outsiders, agreement on goals, frequent interaction. Now, there are all the ways, these are the positive factors that increase group cohesiveness. There are certain negative factors that will decrease the group cohesiveness. What are the negative factors that will decrease the group cohesiveness? That is the large group size. If the group is too large, obviously the cohesiveness or the bonding will decrease. Then disagreement on goals, then competitiveness within group, then domination by one or more members in a group, and the last one is unpleasant experiences. These are the factors that will put down and bring down and decrease cohesiveness or strong bonding in a group. So I understood all of you till here. I think it's better I stop. Students, understood all of you? Anything that you want to ask me regarding today's portion, today's lecture? Please feel free to clarify. I'm always ready to cater to your service. Anything, students, you need to understand? Is it all okay, students?
Yes, ma'am, it's fine.
Yes, ma'am.
You all understand this very, yes, because these are, Rituparna and all other Shomo, and these are very important factors. Always, this will have a lot of implication and practical application in your future. Even if you are joining any internship or industrial training, you will require it. So very important thing, if any portion you did not understand, please feel free to discuss. I'm there to help you out with it. Okay. So this was all for today. I think we should stop today because we have done quite a lot. We don't need to hurry so much. We are covering, every week we are having the class and we are doing it seriously. We have covered quite a lot, quite a chunk of our syllabus. So the major portion we are almost completing. So next day we will move with some other next week. Are you there, all of you students? So this was all for today for this. Because we have covered quite a chunk of our portion today on this group behavior. Obviously, a major portion is also left that needs to be completed, and we have the class very tomorrow itself. So we will be completing tomorrow the portion that is left in this unit and which needs to be completed on group behavior, its requirements, characteristics, the cohesiveness, and all those things that we were doing today. And then quickly we will have a recapitulation tomorrow of the entire unit that we have done. Okay. And today we will meet once again at 3:30 for our practical class. Is it okay, students? 3:30 to 5:30 we will have it. Is that
yes, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Today the three groups are yet to give their presentations. So are you
Yes,
ready?
ma'am.
That correct. You will have to give your presentation, and then I'll announce the final the group marks and the first, second, third, fourth of the groups and their performances, and then I will be moving on to a panel discussion, as I said.
Okay, ma'am.
Panel discussions are very essential. I'll tell you, you people have not done panel discussions, so I'll tell you how to do panel discussions. Okay, on certain topics. Upcoming topics, recent topics. Clear? So we will do panel discussion. Clear? So we will be meeting all at 3:30 sharp. And
Okay, ma'am.
first we will cover the three presentation, then we'll be moving with the panel discussion. Yeah, I'll give some lectures on panel discussion. I'll tell you the rules and regulations. Then we'll have a panel discussion where I'll tell you how everybody will interact and participate with the team lead. I'll make one person a virtual team lead, and that person has to say, and you will have to have a hearty discussion based. You cannot deviate from the mainstream. So I'll tell you the rules and regulations of panel discussion, because panel discussions are incorporated in companies' recruitment drive process for Infosys, Cognizant. Okay, because this time we are. Hopefully you never know. Next time also, if you have it offline, then also panel discussions are very essential. Nowadays, more than group discussions individually, panel discussions are also given highest priority. Is that okay? Clear. So this was all for today. Hope to meet you at 3:30 sharp. Okay. So just revise. And the three of you, please be ready with your presentations. Okay. Very quickly, we'll wind up with the presentation process, and then we will move on to panel discussion. And then I'll give you also further topics for role plays in our next class. They are virtual role play. Next week, we'll be having virtual role plays. Okay, students, then. Bye, all of you. Take care, and we'll meet at 3:30. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Okay,
you,
ma'am.
all of you. Yes. And today's
Thank you,
portion,
ma'am.
you all understood properly?
Yes, ma'am, we understood it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very important part, group behavior. Little bit is left. We will cover this unit tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a theory class from 11:30. So the portion that is left on group behavior, we will cover this unit. Yeah. Okay, students. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.